Hi, this is Hi Bob Poor Bob, and we're about to play some Ultimate General Civil War.
Hello, and welcome to a camp for Malvern Hill. So start off by buying all the brigadiers, all the colonels, and I think 2 of the light colonels, lieutenant colonels. So I go through and I delete all the little units that aren't real units. Evidently that takes a little while. A lot of these steps I skipped this time. I went ahead and just like paused it, did them, and then unpaused it. So you saw my 2 career points now top me out at politics 10. Next one we're going to max out is medicine. Just these last 3 guys left. Then we'll start separating all of the auxiliary units into this last core, including like all the cavalry, all the skirmishers, all the snipers, and get them all out of the way so we can just build our army. We also want to get them over there so we can go ahead and top off any of the artillery, get them up to whatever number we want to get them up to. Now we're just moving all of our infantry to first corps. So now I need to get rid of all of my manpower. I believe that's the next thing I do. Oh, no, I labeled them all for how much experience they have. I was showing that one has the most melee. It's like 52 or so. So that's going to be the first one I break down once I get rid of all this manpower. So then I think I just do like the first one, and then I think I pause it and then come back. Oh wait, I wanted to get my weapons situated too. I don't know if I paused it for that. So here I'm just getting rid of all the manpower that I have that doesn't have enough stats to be worthy of, filling back up my cavalry and then going ahead and topping off and adding any cannons to any of my units that I need to. Just using up whatever guns I have, because you gotta use whatever guns you have. I started thinking about the fact that that's the one I'm going to want to break down, but maybe I want to give it a different gun for a second. And I was like, well, I'm just going to delete it in a second anyway. It should be fine. And I was like, I want to make the rest of those units out of Mississippis instead. So let's actually replace the Mississippi ones. So then I'll be able to keep my Mississippis on those bad units while I remake everything else. There we go. I'm like, oh, we can do like 2,000 and 2,000 or so. That's what I was thinking. Here in a second, I'm going to realize that there's one really big thing I forgot. And that has to do with that little dome up there. I need to go and actually buy the rest of the, well, not the rest of, but the infields that you can buy for reputation. Because I am now out of guns, and I'm like, wait a second, I swear, I have enough guns for this. How do I not have enough guns? Okay, well there's 100, so that's still not the 1,700 guns I need. So what else am I missing? What am I missing is what I'm sitting here thinking. Okay, we have like 1,000 Lorenzes and 600 of those. That still wouldn't be quite enough. And then, what am I missing? Oh, there we go. Infields. Buy the infields. Now it's real easy to go ahead and come over here, replace the rest of the Mississippis, Maybe not the rest of them, but don't have enough infields for that. Come on, just get it done. Infields. There you go. Okay, now we can go ahead and replace them. Make the rest of them out of Mississippi's. And I realize I can use up most of these just on the units that I already have. So just top these off to 2,500 each, and then whatever's left over, then go ahead and put that into a single unit by itself. $861. Okay, now it gets to where we start skipping a lot, I think. So no, not quite. So this is all manually done. So that's the melee that was really high on that one. So I come over here and top off all my cavalry. That one's a little bit questionable. Like, it's already at 99 melee, so maybe I should, like, go ahead and do something different there. Like, give them just guys with lower melee stats so that I can actually put all of them in there. So I can keep gaining melee. But for now, this should be fine.
Yes, sir.
So then I'm like, okay, so my snipers need topped off and stuff, so this one I'll go ahead and do with those, but I think pretty soon I'm going to go grab the others. 250.
Sir, yes,
So then I mess around with the leaders to find a leader that will get them about the right number of men. I didn't want to use a general if I can help it. I'd rather use like some bar colonel, some amount of bar colonel. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh, maybe I can grab one that is a little bit lower and use them all up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that should be fine. That's what I should have just done to begin with. And I was like, how much would it cost me to just use up the rest of these in veterans? And it's like $8 grand. Like, no, that's not happening. We'll just use a little bit better guy on that one. There we go. There's one that's like somewhat better. I don't want to use a really high one either, because it just feels like a waste. This will get me most of them in there. Close enough. For now. It'll be fine. And then we'll just buy up whatever's left. And buy up the parrots. Buy up the 24 pounders. Don't need anything else, I don't think. So then we go ahead and we're looking for the highest firearms. 58, I think, is the highest firearms. So go down through, and yep, 58 is definitely the highest. So we want to remake the unit that has the highest melee. 1995, and then go ahead and delete that one off, and we're gonna top off or refill all of these guys. So I can go to 11 with both my 24 pounders, which I realize here in a second. Okay. That one had to be topped off a little bit too, I think. And then I think I can put a few parrots in. A few ordnance, a few parrots that I've captured.
Sir, yes, sir.
And then I'll go ahead and buy a couple parrots too, just to top off my third one. I'm like, where's my third one? Did I miss him? I know I have 3. Where is he? There he is. He was right there. Snake would have bit me. I'm like, $4 grand. I'll do it. That'll be fine. I'm like, let's get him up to 200. We've got all our cavalry up. We've used up. Everything looks good there. So then I'm like, next step. Delete all my units. Did I fast forward through this? No, maybe I didn't. Thought I did. Guess not. So I'm deleting all my units just to get them to the same amount of experience for all of them, and so that the Mississippis down there will be able to get 2 stars. Of course, they don't have Mississippis. They'll have Infields and Lorenzes and Harper's Ferries now, since we have so many extra of the Lorenzes, and well, we just bought like what, 4K Infields plus a little bit, and I'm like, okay, so this is what they look like. This is what everything looks like. I'm just kind of showing off that they're all 2 stars. Looking around, seeing. Oh, and I changed all their leaders to be like evened out more. To be mostly 1 and 2 star. Either lieutenant colonels or even lower.
Yes, sir.
So then we're just going through and we're building 2K for everybody. I think I skip ahead here in a second because there's no reason to make you watch all this. There we go. Pause it for a second, and then I'm like, okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and buy some Lorenzes. And then we skip to the end, and we've got everybody made up. Everybody's 2 stars. Was that 16? And I'll go ahead and delete that one. So we got 15 of them, and then I go ahead and delete off all of the guys without experience and mix them with those ones that have experience so that we can get more experience on all of our units. So in a second here, we're going to jump to everything finished, and whenever we do, it'll be a little bit different because I made a couple changes before the end, so I go ahead and load that up to show you exactly what I did. But this is the basic idea, and I think I actually did better in this one because I did the whole thing because there was a bunch of dead ends that I got to and things, and then I went ahead and went back and recorded doing it again, and I made some changes, and I think that I did a better job this time than I had done before. So this is all those units built out. All these guys get 2 stars, except that one that has a captain. So I think I like this build better than I like my actual build. I really do. I think this is a really nice build. And then we'll go ahead, once we've looked over everybody. Oh, this is actually my real build. See how they don't have a star? They're still good. They're just not, it's not as good as it could have been. So the majority of my units have 2 stars, which is pretty cool. Not every single one, but it's almost exactly, I think it's 29 with 2 stars and 2 with, no, it's 31 with 2 stars and 2 with 3 stars. And that's just showing what all I have left over. That's showing the last gains mill. So once again, leave if you don't like a bunch of numbers. I'm only going to do it out of game this time. I'm not going to do it in game this time. So here is all of my stuff. I've got 2 3-stars. I think I had the 2 3-stars on this one as well. I didn't write it down. So 7 0-stars. You saw the makeup that you can get this with all 1-stars if you just spread out your experience a little bit better. So as far as guns go, we have quite a few more infields, quite a few more 1855s, over double the Harbor's Ferries, and you know, overall I think our gun count is looking pretty nice at this point. And the money is 35, 35, 20. So 70, 80, 90, 90,000 money left over in this one. I have about 7,000, 6,000 more troops. 6,000 more troops. And more stats than before. So I'm up to 92 with my mostly trained guys with a 3-star. I mean, with a no-bar colonel. And then all troops, I'm not quite as drastic of a change, mostly because this one, I think this one is a little bit, no, that's not more dilute. But I think some of their, what I called untrained troops, still had some amount of training, just not much. So it brings them a little bit closer in here, but still I'm 7 points ahead. And then my officer corps, I think that this officer corps is doing quite well. Got quite a few brigadiers, quite a few colonels, really stepping it up from these majors here. I really feel like we're shifting this way. I know that I only have 3 major generals instead of 4, but I don't think that's really all that much of a detriment at this point. Okay, guys, that's it. Have a nice one.